from Rightmove, or is this just dead, or was it ever a thing in the first place? You hear so many investors and different people say, I've actually heard these exact words, that if you get deals from Rightmove, you're an amateur and you don't really know what you're doing. So I'm Harvey, I'm a remote property investor. What does that mean? It means I live in the south, but I invest in the northeast. And yeah, a big part of getting deals, a big part of my business has been getting obviously deals, because I portfolio build, I buy properties for myself, and a large proportion of them deals over the years have come from agents and relationships that I've built with agents. And spoiler alert, a lot of those properties have come from Rightmove as well, you know. So over the years, maybe I am an amateur, but done over 80 deals, and a large proportion of them have been from agents. Some of them quite, like, there's been a fair amount that's come to us before they've made it to Rightmove, but either way, once they even come to us, they've gone on to Rightmove afterwards. So what's your views around this? Do you think Rightmove's dead? Do you think it's over? I'll tell you my views in a minute, and I'll tell you what I think about it, but I'd love to hear what your views are around Rightmove, whether you should be just direct to vendor, should you be getting deals from Rightmove, should you be getting deals from letters, from Facebook ads, from bandit boards? What is the strategy that everybody should be doing now? I'd love to hear your views. I'm going to give you my view in a minute, but remember, it's just my view and just my thoughts on this. But I'm not sure if I can see the comments, because I can't see anybody comment, but if you are commenting, I'm going to jump in now anyway. So yes, 100% you should still, and you always can, and you still can get deals from Rightmove. Has it been more difficult since COVID? 100% yes, but every avenue of any avenue you have had of getting deals has been more difficult since COVID. Spoiler alert, all of them have been difficult. I've spoke to tons and tons and tons and tons of other investors, and everybody's saying the same. They're not picking up as many deals as they usually would, but deals are still out there to be had. This is because we're in a bull market in the property. The property market grew last year across the board, even in the northeast, in my remote location. We still got growth there. So whenever there's growth and there's lower stock, everywhere had lower stock. The first lockdown, and then everybody buying like crazy, the supply has been diminished. So it don't take a real economic genius to work out, if you've got low supplies, high demand, pushes prices up. When prices get pushed up, this means there's not so many people motivated to sell deals. If there's not so many people motivated to sell deals, this means it's going to be harder to find deals. But whether that is from Rightmove, direct to vendor, or any other strategy you've got, bandit boards, whatever the chosen strategy you've got, it's been more difficult for everybody. Yes, there is some pros and cons over different strategies. At the moment, if you can try and get direct to vendor before somebody speaks to a estate agent, then that's fantastic. But you've got to remember, I'd say probably 19 out of 20 people that think about selling a home, their first port of fault is not going directly to, even if you've got a letter, even if they've got a letter through the door from leaflets or advert from Facebook, or from a letter, direct to vendor letter, the first thing that most people think of is agents. This is why I feel you shouldn't be leaving this out. Yes, there's a lot of other strategies. I think it's not been the strongest strategy at the moment, but it doesn't mean that you should leave this strategy out, you know. So I think direct to vendor stuff, especially the Facebook stuff, direct to vendor ads have been probably the stronger of the strategies in today's market, in the COVID situation. But that said, all of the strategies work. So I think whatever you focus on will work. My advice for this, and I got this from the man himself, Rob Moore, is you should have 2 or maybe 3 ways of getting properties, not just relying on one. I too heavily relied on agents for years, and that was a mistake of mine. I kept on, done a few direct to vendor stuff. Most of the direct to vendor stuff was from my reputation, but I kept on meaning, even before COVID, meaning to get going on a secondary strategy. The secondary strategy I'm favouring is Facebook ads, because you can really target and go direct. But that said, all of the strategies will work. If you really focus on letters to landlords, you'll get deals. If you really focus on I'm not so much sure on bandit boards anymore, but if you put boards up on the side of your cars, you can't do it on the side of the road as far as I know in most areas anymore. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if you put boards up on your properties or your to let signs on the other side of it, you've got We Buy Houses on now. You're going to pick up deals from all of these strategies. Whatever you focus on, you will get, you know. So some demand more focus. So with the boards, putting stickers on your cars. Like I've got a shop, we're just getting the board, the sign changed to We Buy Houses on now. Back of the letting balls, you can put We Buy Houses on now. So these strategies, I don't think you're going to get major leads from, but letters, direct to vendor campaign with Facebook, or working with agents. I think all three of them are fairly evenish, but why not do a few of them? Maybe not all three of the heavy intensive ones, because the relationship building with agents takes a bit of time and effort. Letters take a bit of time and effort, and so the direct to vendor campaigns on Facebook take time and effort. So maybe pick two, but I definitely wouldn't dismiss, sorry, that's the word I'm looking for. Definitely wouldn't dismiss getting deals from agents from Rightmove. We've just had an offer accepted couple of days ago with a property that was on Rightmove. Wasn't even an agent I got on with that well. It's the first time I dealt with this agent. Built a bit of rapport with him now, but the first time I dealt with him. So we just had an offer accepted. Had the offer accepted at £90,000. They're in the street. The last comparable in 2020 within 6 months was an end terrace 3-bedroom. Needed new carpets in there. It was livable, but it wasn't very nice, and it went for 117. There was this one we've offer accepted is a 3-bedroom semi-detached, so better than the terrace. So worst case scenario, it's a little cul-de-sac as well, so not many comparables. There is a terrace for 117 in worse condition than we're going to bring this one up to. Then within a quarter of a mile, pretty much the same sort of condition we're going to bring this one to, apart from it's got kitchen, diner. We're not going to extend to that, but the kitchen is going to be same spec. Bathroom is going to be better spec than this one, because the bathroom wasn't great on this one. The only difference would be the kitchen, diner, same square footage. We've got a garage on this one, that one hasn't. This has got off-street parking, that one hasn't. Same sort of square footage, within a quarter of a mile, sold again within 6 months for 125. So this has got the potential to be about 22% BMV after work. Need to do a kitchen to it, paint and a few bits. Don't need a fortune spent on it, about probably £6,000. So this, if we get it comparable to the one in the street, because they say we're not doing a quarter of a mile, surveyors are really odd, it's gonna come in at around 17% BMV. But I'm pretty sure, in my experience, they can't. It's a terrace, and our one's going to be in much better condition than this one. Within a quarter of a mile, there's one for 125. It makes it 22%. This property was on Rightmove. We picked it up off a Rightmove, not an agent I've got a relationship with as well. So there is still deals to be done off a Rightmove. The deal, we've got one that we're about to complete on. Also, again, that was on Rightmove. Then we've got another one we're completing on in probably about 3 weeks' time. We've got one which is completing on in about a week, and one in about 3 weeks' time. That one come from an agent, but it come from an agent. We did get given the heads up before it got onto the market, to be fair. So it come from an agent, but we got to negotiate on it before it actually hit Rightmove. So that was relationship building. But two out of the three, we've got two going through. We've got one just put into legals now, and all three of them was landed on Rightmove at one point. So if I had to give up with Rightmove, we've got a direct to vendor campaign out, and we're in negotiations at the moment with other ones. But if I just stuck to direct to vendor and just give up that side of it, we'd had no deals in legals at the moment. We've got less deals in legals than we'd like. We'd like to have about 5 or 6. So we'd like to have a little bit more. But that said, if I had to give up on Rightmove, I'd have none. And all of these all stack as deals, all got really strong comparables. So yeah, my view on this is you should be doing a multi-pronged attack on how you source your deals. Have a little bit of each. Letters and direct to vendor, Facebook ads. I think even free, because the Facebook ads, once you set them up, got the algorithms going, they're pretty automated. So the letters is probably the most intense one. Leaflets is a lot more intense. That's why I've never gone down them routes, but they do work. They all work. So hope you found that useful. Let me know what methods you are using. Do you still use Rightmove and look for agents? Yes, they are a lot less deals than you usually get, but that is across the board. I think probably the best method is a direct to vendor at the moment. But that said, if you stop doing it for Rightmove and you stop doing it with agents, you're definitely going to leave some deals behind. So I highly encourage you all to be looking at multiple avenues of getting your deals. So hope you found it useful. Robin's just jumped on. Do you check Rightmove daily, or just set up notifications and have gander each time you get an alert? No, I check it myself. The thing with the alerts is what I would do, Robin, is set up a separate email for the alerts, because you'll just get so many alerts through, especially from agents. So I've got one separate email address that I give to Rightmove Alert, Zoopla, On The Market, and to all the agents. So all the alerts come through there, but there's so many that the criteria that meets your criteria is 3-bedroom. It's within the price range of this. It doesn't mean it's a property you want. So every property that meets that, the algorithms can't tell if it needs a little bit of work doing to it, if it can add the value to it. It just picks them all up within the price band that you have suggested and the property type you suggested. So you get too many coming through like that. If you check it daily, then I have a check it. I'm not as aggressively buying at the moment. I'm more working on my coaching company. But when I was aggressively buying, I was checking daily. And all you have to do is once you've looked through all the previous one, you just put on the last 24 hours, and you can scan through quicker than you can scan through all the alerts that you get through within that price barrier. So yeah, I'd rather check. But even now, I don't check daily so much. It's never no longer than 7 days that I check. So I just either put in 24 hours or within 7 days, depending on how last, or within 3 days or 7 days, depending on how long I leave it. Never no longer than a week. But yeah, I'll just check there. I'll just go back and check in my time. But both ways work, mate. Just work what works well for you. So did you find yourself a deal also in Wales? What did you go with in the end? Did you look for just buying a deal, or did you find your BRR model? So be interesting to have an update on that, mate. But yeah, as I said, remember, you've constantly got to be involved in what you're doing. You've constantly got to be involved in your ideas. We didn't evolve quick enough into direct to vendor stuff. I've done some letters, I've done some leafleting, and I wasn't a fan of it. It does work, but I wasn't a fan of it myself. The intensity goes into that, dealing with the delivery people, and yeah, so we didn't, and we was getting so many good deals, but that was to my mistake, resting on my laurels because of deals we got from agents. Last year we didn't get nowhere near as many deals because we didn't speed up. To now we're fast forward, we're getting roughly about a lead per day from the Facebook advert campaign. Been doing it for a few months now, so it took a little while to work the algorithms out, but now we've worked the algorithms out, we're getting about a lead a day, so this should be pushing through to push us over the line. But last year, again, yeah, we got a few direct to vendor ones, but that was more from my network. So you want to have a multi-pronged attack on how you get your deals. So I hope that really you find it useful. Hope you don't give up on Rightmove and these other platforms. Rightmove, barring none, is the biggest platform out there. Like, that's why they charge. This is the difference. I've got a lettings company, and we approached Rightmove to see how much they would charge us to advertise properties. When we approached them, I think we had about 50 odd properties under management, maybe 55-ish, and they wanted £750 per month plus VAT for us to use their platform and advertise on them. And I'm like, that's crazy. We've only got about 2 properties a month to rent, as like was buying, and the odd turnaround property. You're like, it's going to cost like £300 odd per property. And I was like, yeah, it's the price. Where Zoopla on the market are both around £200. See the price difference between the two. And the reason the price difference is that is because Rightmove does hold all the cards, and they're the most powerful platform. That said, should you only use Rightmove? Definitely not. On the market, get some deals before Rightmove, because they offer agents a little deal if they put them on 24 hours before, they'll give them a deal. Also, some agents are not on with Rightmove because they won't pay the fees. So I'm in some letting agent groups, and it's the same with all agents and letting agents and estate agents. I'm on some Facebook groups, and a lot of them have boycotted Rightmove because of the fees are so extortionate. So there is some deals that will be on the market, and Zoopla that won't be on there. So you want to look across all the platforms, but have a multi-pronged attack. Robin's jumped on and said, had a last minute problem with mortgage due to being self-employed, had to provide a lot of additional evidence, but it's all sorted now. Good man. It's always challenging hurdles. They always want they seem to want to know absolutely everything. Have you been? They want to know what you had for dinner last week, how much you spent for dinner, are you circumstanced or not circumstanced? Do you go to the gym? Joking there a little bit, but the information they want today seems to be ginormous. I even had a deal. I got a refinance through from TMW. They give me an advance on a property I had with them, so I got further lending with them. That money landed in my bank with TMW written on it from the bank, and I was using that to go towards another deposit, and TMW actually said to me, where's this money come from? Where's it? And I'm like, it come from you? What was it for? Well, you just lent it to me. Like, could you not cross references? But yeah, they want to know absolutely everything today, the lenders, but it's just part of the game, and we've just got to persevere with what we've got. Still loads of opportunity in property though. Still loads of opportunity on Rightmove. That's the whole point of this video. So please give yourself across multiple pronged attack of where you get your deals. Don't just leave it down to one avenue, and you'll be getting more deals than you will in any other while just leaving it to one. But also remember, every avenue has been reduced just because the level of stock and the level of demand for properties in general has just gone up. So as I said, don't take a economic whiz to know that if the biggest deals you're going to get is from motivated sellers. If the market's hot, you don't get as many motivated sellers, and it's just as easy as that. But it don't mean you don't get none. There's always deals to be done in every cycle, and the biggest thing you'll get, especially with agents as well, and even direct to vendor, if you keep on being out there going direct to vendor, speaking to agents, when that market calls, or what's happened with quite a few of our deals as well, over last year was, other people overbid on it, then couldn't get lending. So then the seller's then all of a sudden 40 had a sale, it's falling through. He's now worried if that's going to happen again. He's much more motivated. The agent comes back to the person who's fresh in their mind. So yeah, definitely be out there, building relationships with agents, stay fresh in their mind. But as I said, the offer we just had accepted wasn't even with an agent I had a great relationship with. It was the first deal, first time I ever spoke to him, and we got that directly off of Rightmove. So hope that encourages people. Hope you keep on keeping on. And remember, if you don't evolve your ideas, you're never going to live on your own terms. So evolve your ideas, live on your own terms. Have a great day, everyone.